The Aztec Empire. Introduction. Today we'll be talking briefly about the Aztec Empire, from its origins to its downfall at the hands of the Spanish. This mini-lesson will serve as a short introduction to the timeline of the empire, but we will go more in depth in the coming weeks. The Aztec people. The Aztec were originally known as the Mexica. The Mexica were refugees from a place called Aztlan. They left their home due to wars and traveled to the basin of Mexico, where they settled into an infertile patch of land surrounded by many enemies. After fighting numerous wars against the other peoples inhabiting the basin of Mexico, the Aztecs eventually defeated them all. The Mexica celebrated these victories by naming themselves the Aztec, after Aztlan, their homeland. Conquest. The Aztec would quickly engage in wars of conquest, with each king adding new territories to the empire. These conquered states would become tributaries, paying taxes and sending sacrifices to the Aztecs. At the height of their rule, they counted 15 million people to live under their empire. These were from a variety of petty kingdoms, allied tribes, conquered people, and Aztec citizens themselves. The Aztecs controlled an extensive trade network, bringing in exotic animals and insects, as well as plenty of gold to use as decorations. Religion. Aztec religion was complex. They worshipped many gods, and held many complicated ceremonies for all of them. The Aztecs believed that there had been 4 other worlds before the one we live in now, that were each destroyed in some sort of apocalypse. The most famous of these ceremonies was human sacrifice. Human sacrifice was seen to be a gift of life to the gods, to give them back life which they spent to nourish the world and keep it from being destroyed. Most sacrifices were captives of the war, which the Aztecs would constantly fight in order to gain enough sacrifices to fuel their rituals. First contact with the Spanish. When Spanish ships landed in what would become known as Mexico in 1519, the Aztec Empire was at the height of its power. The Aztecs were under the belief that the leader of the Spanish, Hernán Cortés, was their long-lost god returning, named Quetzalcoatl. The Spanish were impressed at the architecture and culture of the Aztec, but were horrified at the concept of live human sacrifice, and also quickly realized that they held a military advantage over them. The Spanish were motivated by 3 things: God, glory, and gold. Tenochtitlan was the capital of the Aztec Empire, and it was here the Spanish were brought to. When Cortés and his men arrived, they were greeted by King Montezuma, the current ruler of the Aztec. The Spanish imprisoned him after occupying the city for a few days, and then took direct control over the city. Fall of the Aztec. The Aztec were tired of their king being imprisoned and the Spanish soldiers doing whatever they pleased, so they launched an attack on the Spanish. While initially driven back by the Aztec, the Spanish conquistadors held superior weapons and armor, and with the aid of Aztec tributaries that were tired of paying tax to the Aztec, they destroyed Tenochtitlan. Smallpox, brought over by the Spanish, also led to a mass outbreak that led to the death of countless other Aztec people. Very shortly after the fall of their capital, the Aztec and former tributaries sent diplomats to the Spanish, and were subsequently integrated into the growing Spanish Empire in the New World. Cortés then ordered the idols of the Aztec gods and the temples to be taken down and replaced with icons of Christianity. He also announced that the temple would never again be used for human sacrifice. Human sacrifice and reports of cannibalism, which were common among the natives of the Aztec Empire, had been a major reason as to why Cortés and his soldiers fought against the Aztec. Vocabulary. Aztlan, homeland of the Mexica. Conquistadors, Spanish soldiers sent to claim land in the name of Spain. Hernán Cortés, leader of the Spanish conquistadors. Mexica, the original name the Aztec called themselves. Tenochtitlan, capital city of the Aztecs. Tributaries, tribes and kingdoms conquered by Aztecs. They were forced to pay taxes and supply captives for human sacrifice. Copy out the following concept map and use it to convey the ideas presented in this video. This will also help you study for the introductory quiz as well as future assignments. Question and answer structure review. What caused the Aztec Empire to fall? A mixture of war, weak leadership, disease, and unfriendly neighbors and tributaries led to the destruction of the Aztec Empire. The military might of the Spanish, combined with the outbreak of smallpox and the alliance between Spanish and tributary tribes, caused the defeat of the Aztecs just 2 years after the Spanish landed in Mexico.